Medical Tourism Corporation interview with Dr. Raman Goyal, bariatric and metabolic surgeon. Dr. Goyal is a pioneer in bariatric surgery in India. With extensive training and experience in India and abroad, he performed the first laparoscopic gastric band and gastric bypass, the Phobie pouch surgery in India. Dr. Goyal is also one of the very few surgeons in the world to successfully perform many ileal interposition surgeries for cure of diabetes.
Dr. Raman Goyal, I did my surgery residency from North India, and after that I was visiting Mayo Clinic for some time here in Minnesota, and did a diploma in GI surgery from Vienna, Austria. We started laparoscopic surgery long time back, it was somewhere in 1992. And I was primarily a laparoscopic surgeon doing large volumes in a government medical college and private setups. Bariatric came much later, somewhere about 1998. We got interested in bariatric. Initially, we started doing open bariatric surgery. And about 2000, I got trained in laparoscopic bariatric surgery. That was with a surgeon in France and Dr. Fehring on the gastric band. I had a surgeon in Switzerland, in Lausanne, Michel Suter, who trained me in gastric bypass surgery. And then we graduated into performing laparoscopic gastric bypass. The advantage that we had was that we had a significant experience of laparoscopic work before we went into bariatric. So we knew the suturing techniques, managing patients laparoscopically in large numbers, and that helped in keeping our complication rate low because of the prior experience in laparoscopy and the teaching experience that we had. And then there was no looking back because we were selling concept in our country, and then gradually people realized that we are economical than other countries, and probably we at least match their quality as far as results are concerned, if not better than them. And in many ways it may be even better than the published literature worldwide. Laparoscopic sleeve gastrectomy came to this country about 3 years back when Michel Garnier introduced it here. And we picked it up and we started doing sleeve gastrectomy as a first stage procedure prior to a gastric bypass in people who were very heavy. And have started performing it as first stage and also as a standalone procedures in selected cases who are not very heavy, who do not have much of comorbidities. And now sleeve gastrectomy constitutes almost 40% of our total bariatric work. 50% is gastric bypass, and about 10 to 20% is about other procedures like bands and balloons. Sleeve gastrectomy has got good results. Early results show good weight loss in terms of almost 70% excess weight loss in 1 to 1.5 years. But there are 5-year published data which says good weight loss maintenance even 5 years down the line. So I am very optimistic. And the advantage is that if need be, it can be converted into bypass later. American Society of Metabolic and Bariatric Surgery have a preceptorship program. So I went to Dr. Mel Phobie in California for completing this preceptorship program. I was with him prior to attending the conference, and Mel Phobie is highly experienced bariatric surgeon, so he made sure that we go through the complete routine of preceptorship, and we completed it, and he was pretty happy with the results. And that preceptorship gives the basic training about how do you manage patients preoperatively, what infrastructure you should have in your own setup, and how do you work as a team to manage these patients post-operatively. When we introduced bariatric surgery in this country, there was a lack of any organized professional body in the country. So we formed two societies. One of them was the Obesity Surgery Society of India, of which I am the executive committee member since the beginning. And that organizes annual meeting where we share experience and we share new techniques that come up. And we also formed a society to advance research in obesity. This includes everyone. This includes the surgeons, the physicians, endocrinologists, nutritionists together. And I'm the president of that society at the moment. And that society is doing very well, and we are organizing our Asia Oceania Conference on Obesity in February, this coming February 2009, which will have parallel sessions for surgeons and also for the team members of bariatric programs. So it's very much on the lines of ASMBS, where the surgeons and the team members are trained, and we form consensus guidelines. How do we manage a bariatric patient? So it's an extremely professional body, and it's taking the bariatric program in our country in the right direction.
Can you share about some of the international conferences you have attended, like American Society for Bariatric Surgery, that is International Society for Obesity, all those?
Okay. As I said, we have various presentations in the international congresses that have happened, and we had publications in the Indian Journal of Obesity. Okay. I have repeatedly been asked by the patients that why should anybody come to India? How does Indian infrastructure match with the American or any other Western hospital? I do not think that the only reason why a patient should come to India is economic. They must see the results. Economic, obviously, we are economically priced because it's economical, it's cheaper. But the quality should be the first criteria. And as I see in the American data, that there is a certain number of complications that happen. But if you see the hospitals and the surgeons within America as well, there are hospitals which have excellent complications, that means they have very low complication rates, and there are hospitals which have higher complication rates. I think we match with the best of the hospital data which is available. So I do not think that anybody should compare India only because it's cheaper. Compare the results with the best of the hospitals, and that's the quality assurance. The quality assurance comes not only from the doctor, it comes from the hospitals that are here in India. These hospitals like Wockhardt Hospital matches with the best in the world. As far as infrastructure like equipment is concerned, we use the same quality equipment like high density HD cameras, optical systems. We use the same equipment for operation, or like harmonic or the ligashures, which are available anywhere in the world. And the manpower training, that's I think the key. The people here, whether the anesthetists or whether the psychologists or the nutritionists, are trained bariatric personnel, and thus they are able to provide a comprehensive experience for the patients. Whether it's receiving them at the airport, providing them the continental meals that they expect, or providing them the post-bariatric care, all that is packaged to make sure that the people have a comfortable experience. As far as the results are concerned, now we have a good enough data available, and I can say that we match the best because till date, in none of our laparoscopic gastric bypass or a sleeve or a gastric band, we had a single mortality. Our repeat surgery rate is extremely small. and all these patients went home within the scheduled period. Just 1 or 2 patients extended their stay by 4 or 5 days, and then they could fly back. So that is the basic emphasis I keep emphasizing. Match our results with your own results, and if the quality is at par, then look at the economics. Considering the kind of work we are doing and lack of availability of such skills in most of the countries in this part of the world, we do attract patients primarily from US. Okay, we have good number of patients from UK, patients from Spain, a good number of patients from African continent, and from some East Asian countries like Singapore, Korea, Japan, and a few patients from down under, from Africa, from Australia and New Zealand. So it's spread from all over the world. From America, we must be having from almost every state in US. So if you go to look at it, we must be having from almost 25 states already patients, and some of the states have given more than 5-6 patients from each state. So I think we have got good number of patients from each of these regions. Metabolic surgery or surgery for diabetes. Generally this term is used for surgery for diabetes. Now this got noticed about 5 years back, that when somebody performs a bariatric surgery, the diabetes gets resolved. And then a surgeon from US, Dr. Walter Porras, noticed it, and he published it that it's surprising that the diabetes gets resolved. And then the multiple publications came in JAMA by Buckboy, which says that diabetes gets resolved after gastric bypass in 84% patients. And then people started thinking, can we do this surgery only for diabetes? First thing is, this surgery is only for type 2 diabetic. It's not for type 1 diabetes. So that means that group is out. We are not discussing about that. So whenever I use diabetes, it's only for those who are type 2 diabetic. Now, if we are doing this surgery for people who are overweight or obese, then I can perform a regular bariatric procedure, which could be a gastric bypass or a slim gastrectomy, and which gives good resolution rates. And what does a resolution mean? Resolution means that these people are off medication for diabetes in a short term after surgery. And this term is usually a week to 3 months. So that means in 3 months time, 84% of diabetics will be off medication. What happens to the rest of them, 16% patients? Their diabetic medication reduces significantly. If they were on 4 tablets, they come down to 1 tablet. If they are on insulin and tablets, now they are on tablets alone, and their medicine requirement goes down. So it does not mean that they are failure. They also have significant control. But we need to assess these patients before surgery. Every diabetic may not improve. We need to know that only those patients whose pancreatic function is still there, that means the pancreas is still functioning, we can give them a hope or a better control or a resolution. Now that has to be assessed individually, looking at for how many years they are diabetic, for how many years they are taking insulin, and how well the pancreas is still functioning, which can be done in your country with a blood test, and you can send us the reports and we can assess. And this is how it works. Now for people who are not obese, who are normal weight or who are just overweight, we don't need to do a procedure like a bariatric procedure. We perform a procedure called ileal interposition procedure. Ileal interposition procedure is still in the realm of a clinical trial. But this is a approved trial by the hospital and as an approved by the medical research body of the country. And the patient participates in this trial after knowing what all happens. Okay. Now this ileal interposition surgery is been done for last 7 years, and there are 5-year follow-up data available, which shows that 90% of the patients who undergo this surgery, who participate in this trial, have a resolution of diabetes. And and with a weight loss of maximum 20%. Okay. So it's not a very significant weight loss because these people have no restriction of fat intake. So they don't lose much weight. They can eat their cheese, they can eat their other things, and then this weight that they have lost may be regained also. So we are not looking at weight loss for normal weight diabetics, we are looking only at sugar control, and 90% of them have sugar control. The benefit of this surgery, diabetic surgery, is not only in sugar control. The benefit is that the possibility of renal damage, kidney damage. 50% of total renal failure in US happens because these people had diabetes. It's a documented data. Okay. Now, whether we'll be able to reverse it, it's too early to say. Okay. But we do know that if glycosylated hemoglobin, that is HbA1c, if it goes down by 1 unit, 30% complications are reduced. So here, after ideal interposition surgery, HbA1c remains consistently below 6.5. So that means if somebody had a HbA1c, that means uncontrolled blood sugar level of 9.5, it will come down to 6.5, and that means a significant complication rate reduction, a significant reduction in cardiac diseases, eye problems and neuropathies. But as I said and I will repeat, these are early data. But if somebody is able to maintain their blood sugar level, why this will not reduce, there is no reason. I mean, if this goes down with medicine and the complication rates go down, we should expect similar data with surgery. And this is important. I think bariatric surgery is going a step ahead with metabolic surgery. People must look at it as a way to control their complications and long-term issues. We can wait for 30 to 40 years to have long-term data, but whether the patient will survive till that time. So I think if the patient understands the possible complication rate, which is similar to bariatric, we are not, when we are saying that it's a clinical trial, we are not doing something which is very different than what we have been doing. We do the same kind of anastomosis what we have done in gastric bypass, so we know, we have experience of doing that. And this surgery is much less morbid than a gastric bypass because I am not transecting the stomach, I am not doing a bypass of certain region. So the supplement requirement is practically negligible. All that a patient needs to take is an iron tablet a day. So this ideal interposition, since there is no bypass, the length of intestine remains the same through which food passes. The supplement requirement is less. I think it has a great hope for type 2 diabetics who are normal weight.
Medical Tourism Corporation facilitates affordable medical treatment at world-class international hospitals. Fill out the estimate request form on our site for a free quote and more information.